Hi guys, Anthony here. Welcome to the channel, Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations. I'm your host and your content creator, Anthony. Thanks for joining me. And what have I got today? All right, so I've already done one video where I spoke about going to a consignment store that was in Grapevine, Texas. This is another one of those dear little finds. Now, I believe this is a punch bowl, and you can tell. I'll give you a close-up shot once it's not clean till it's dirty right now. But it's got these etchings in it, so I know it's old. This was one of my $7.95 purchases, so a steal. For reference, it is 9 1/4 inches across the opening and 8 3/4 from the base to the top. Now, what I like about this is I think it's got a beautiful shape. Like I said, I'm almost positive this would have been a punch bowl. If not, okay, this could have been like a salad bowl, but I'm not sure a salad bowl would have been as narrow at the top if you're doing a party salad bowl for something like this. But I could not get it because I think I've mentioned on a video of my family, we've gone everywhere from antiquing to thrifting to estate sales. And so I was raised on this. And so when I saw this, I thought, okay, that's amazing. I also have one rock that I do want to use. It's got these beautiful colors in it, but I only got one, and it's got a nice bevel. So I don't know yet. We'll see. And then 2 unaltered pieces of wood here that I want to use. I already have in mind my plant choices, and I think I'm going to stick with just 2 plants from the same type of variety where they're both a vine, but they've got a very heavy leaf, and you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as you see it. I did do my terrarium plant, those that are growing in my tubs, maintenance today, and I'm seeing that I've got several that are taller that really need to be planted. So I am not looking at making this a closed terrarium. I am looking at probably bringing the plants out with it and using a gravel base as the top layer so that we don't have to worry about the gnats for this one as well. So I'm going to kind of go for a different look for this one. Dare I say, kind of an alien world look. That's where my head is right now. So if you guys will give me a second, I'll get my workstation set up and we'll go from there. And today, thanks for joining me, and I know we're gonna have a blast. But I'm just gonna put the gravel in. Now, sometimes when I'm reusing gravel that I've used before, and I'm afraid if there is a lot of larvae or eggs or something in it, I've baked it in the oven at 200 degrees and just to get it hot enough to where I know that it baked everything off of it. So you can do that as well. Because the one thing you don't want a gnat. One gnat is a nightmare compared to what can happen days from that point forward. So right now I have a bug zapper going in my studio because I've got growth chambers in 2 rooms, plants everywhere, terrariums everywhere, and it's just a little haven for them. But the bug zapper is really cutting down on the problems that I have. So that's my 2 cents for that. I'm not sure how. I'm going to go kind of heavy with my soil. I'm okay with that as a drainage layer. By the way, I love this bowl. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And you know, think about this. This is an antique. This was in someone's family. How many times do you think it was used? It got down to the point where either no one said, oh, that's out of style, I don't want that. And it ended up in a thrift store. And Anthony bought it. And now we're turning it into a terrarium. So that's what I love about this hobby, is especially if we're talking about doing something, doing something from an extreme budget. Remember, this is like a $7 purchase. I purchased my gravel in bulk. the big 5-pound bags at Home Depot. It's like $10. And then, I'm growing my own plants, so that's maybe a quarter a plant, if that. I know some plants I'm in a negative because I have so many plants that have just been offshoots. And then the soil. And the soil that I'm using. Oh, by the way, if you're interested about the soil, because I know I've said this on one of the video, and I had some really fun comments. My channel is only 3 months old. So sometimes I'll say, oh, thank you to everyone who's new, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Everyone is new on the channel because my channel is only 3 months old. So, but you can check out Substrate 101, which I have my recipe for what I use in the terrariums, my growth chambers, and the ones I'm just potting. So I use the same thing for everything. That way it just makes it easier for me. And I've got growth chambers that just have like moss in it and things I collect out in nature, because I do collect a lot of my plants myself out in nature. And that's another way you can really save a bunch of money on this hobby. And also my hardscape, the rocks and the wood I use always comes from nature. I'm not into buying something that I don't have to buy. Yeah, I guess is my point, just to make it more cost effective. All right, so I put all these rocks here, and now they just have to come off. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, and I am such an extreme little thrifter. The table we're working off today, this was found in the garbage. Now, I put a new little veneer top on it to match my flooring that I did. But this is the 4th table I have found in the dumpster in my own complex. Yeah, to me, it's just crazy what people throw away. Do I want to put, let me see, where's our height at? Where are we going to be height-wise? I like that. Now, as you'll learn on my channel, I'm all about the drama, and to me, this is the drama right here. I mean, sticking these massively gorgeous branches out of what is a decorative etched antique bowl. Nobody else would do that. There's ain't nobody out there doing this. You know what? Here or... No, I think here, because we'll let this stick here. See, it's holding it to this side. This stick is holding it to this side. It's keeping it upright where I want to be. Okay, so that's going to work. Oh, now I know what fell. It's my cup. And as you can tell, I just make up a big old batch and keep it ready. I like this particular recipe that I'm using because it smells so good. Now, I went a little heavy on the sphagnum moss, and when I do the next version, I'm not going to go as heavy. I like the sphagnum moss in there because it helps retain moisture. So you really, in my growth chambers, I don't have to water my plants whatsoever because it's naturally going to have the humidity in there that's going to keep everything moist. As a matter of fact, sometimes they get too moist because they don't have, I'm using like Dixie cups and things like that. I don't have pot, and I'm not using pots. I'm only using pots when I've bought a plant and then I've taken it out of that pot and divided it up. And then I keep those pots, so I don't throw anything away. Now, remember I said I need to go heavy with the soil because I am going to do a mound at the top, hopefully, if it'll work out. But let me see what we've got. Now, I could put a little moss in this. The moss I have access to, though, here in Texas. In Texas, if you're not familiar with our weather, we get droughts quite often, and to where we can go, a couple of years with a very extreme drought. So the moss I have access to is not the kind of moss that likes to be wet and likes moisture a lot. And so I've been having trouble with my moss keeping it alive inside my terrariums, my closed terrariums. So that's why this one's kind of an experiment, is that can I, if I want to put some moss in here, will it do any better or any worse? And by that I mean, I'm going to top this off with rock. There is a moss I have access to that doesn't grow on soil. It grows on its own soil, and it grows between rocks. I've used it in one other build, and it hasn't died off yet. So I'm kind of excited about that, because I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's a good sign. Maybe that, you know, it's going to be okay. All right. I have to say, I love the visual. I hope you guys too. Let's see, do I need to pull your angle up just a little bit? Okay, that might help. All right, give me a second. I'm going to grab my plants. Okay, I forgot to put my barrier down. Okay, well, it's too late now. There it was. See what happens? I just got talking and just totally lose what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, it's not the worst thing that can happen. So we're just going to roll with it. Okay, so I did pull these up online. The one that is going to love the humidity the most is this rattlesnake. Now this plant, if you guys want to start your collection off, rattlesnake grows like insane. It grows just like a weed. I started with 1. I broke that into 5. I kept having 5. I still have 5. And I have been placing this in most of my builds because it grows so fast. And you can see here, you can just pull that apart and have as many plants as you want. But this one was the biggest one I have because I want it to fill in. So that's why I picked it. This one is I think it's a freckled splash. I think this one's a Hoya. Yes, this one can grow with just some light misting. This one is a Peperomia, same thing for it. It can just grow with some misting. And then I want to say, I can't remember what this is, but it's one of these other 2 varieties. It may be a Peperomia, and which means it has the same quality. But now see how these started out, it's like 2 inches tall. And now look, they're already up there. So this is the reason why I am planting these. Now this splash here, this has been cut off 3 times already. And so this one I'm going to let grow. I love how this looks. And I loved it when I saw it in the store. I do want to take care of, though, any leaves at the bottom first. Just makes it easier. And I know that the freckled splash or speckled splash has a leaf that needs to come off. It's been split. It's not doing the plant any good whatsoever. And a lot of times, you know what I'll also do is I will just cut the roots back. That just encourages them to grow. Now, as far as placement, I wanted something right here. So I'm thinking, oh, definitely. Let's put you there between those 2. Okay, so each stick will get one of these. Oh, we'll put you right there. Now, if you'll notice, I'm going with a curve, and I'm going to go with the curve. So this curve is going to match this curve. So this is where we're going to start. Now, do I need more soil in the middle? I want to plant one in the middle. It's not going to grow right there. I could go here, here. Well, I have 4. I only have 4 plants. Maybe that's the best way. Just let them grow on the outside of it. The nice thing is these sticks don't have much of a base. Sometimes you can take just a leaf off these plants and plant it as well. and that would start a new plant. I can't remember if this one does that. So you guys, if you like the the content, and you want to see more, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, go ahead and subscribe. And then I do read all my comments and I do answer my comments. All right, there's one more leaf down here. It is also split. Take it right out. And what I'm loving about the channel is that it's creating a real community of people sharing information that are new, and we're looking at ways to stay engaged with the hobby, but under, extreme budgets. And that's what I like about my channel, because that's exactly what I'm addressing. Because there's nothing more, horrible than to have a hobby and you can't afford to keep up the hobby because it gets expensive. Okay. I think I said this one. Ooh, I don't think I have enough room. I have more room here. Oh, perfect. It kind of just naturally pulled itself into the middle of that. Okay, that's going to look kind of cool. We'll prop that up. The etchings being flowers or plants on the bowl is just, to me, enchanting. Okay, we know this one's going to be big, so we could put the rattlesnake here. Let's go ahead. Ooh, this one's going to be a little tight. Loving it. There's not a build that I do that I don't love. Maybe it's because I did it, but always, I don't know how you guys are, but for me, I get an idea. A concept comes into my head when I look at the vessel and the wood together, and then it kind of speaks to me. And then I know, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. And so that's one of the things I like about the hobby is that, it gives you that artistic license to, play around. All right. Okay, can you guys see that? I hope you can. I hope it's just not me that can see it. All right, I'm going to plant this one as close as I can to the middle structure, to the wood, because I know it's going to want to go straight tall. Right. Okay, we just did a 360, right back where I started. That's all stamped down. Now, I have a tendency to overplant, so I am not going to do that. Yeah, here was the rock I wanted to use. There's absolutely no place in there that has room to put a rock this size, which is unfortunate, but let me let you guys zoom in.